All right. For this video, we're going to take a look at the Jets' dominant performance by the defensive line. Mainly three guys. One, Mr. Will McDonald, who had a run stuff. He had a should-be hold. You had Jay Tufele with a sack, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, another half a sack, and some other nice plays. And then Leonard Taylor with a strip sack, a few nice plays in the run game, or a nice play in the run game, and another play that was for a hold. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment on the video what you want to see next in the preseason reviews. Plenty more to come. The more comments, the more likes is going to increase our reach out there. So it'd be greatly appreciated. All right, next up in the trenches, we have the Jets defensive line. We got 6 plays featuring them. Offensive line did great. Obviously, lesser plays with them. I actually felt defensive line was even more of the dominant position for the Jets. So here we have Will McDonald on the backside of a mid to outside zone from the Packers. So the weak side right here. Will McDonald is going to be responsible for this C gap. We have A, we have B, we have C. As the ball is snapped, McDonald sees that one, it's a wide track away from him, right? Doesn't fall for the eye candy coming here with that jet motion, chases down the running back for the backside tackle. Now, what's really impressive, one, is obviously the athleticism here, the smarts by Will McDonald, right? He's keying on Jordan Love right now in the backfield. He doesn't fall for that jet sweep. Squeezes down, right? Eliminate this cushion while not falling for the eye candy. Really good for McDonald there. Again, sees the wider track, so he takes more of a flat angle. The more vertical this is, the less aggressive of an angle he probably takes. So good job recognizing the wide track of the running back and the quarterback there. So a little bit more aggressive with his angle. And there's a lot of guys here who, like, at this point, they're like, okay, well, that's too flat. Let's say this was a handoff, or this is like a naked bootleg outside. Like, oh, well, now he's outflanked to the outside. The benefit of Will McDonald, especially on the backside of outside zones and stuff like that, or any keepers or anything like that, he could afford to play a little bit more aggressively because he's so damn athletic that even if his hips are opened up like this, if Love were to keep this ball and roll out, McDonald has enough athleticism to adjust to that. So he has his weaknesses in the run game, and hopefully he improves on them this year, gaining the 10, 15 pounds that he did. But there's also benefits, and specifically him being unblocked, backside, rollouts, keepers, things like that. He's a huge benefit to your running game because of the athleticism he has. So again, really good job coming off the ball, squeezing down the tackle, not falling for the jet motion, taking a more aggressive angle versus a wider track to get involved in the play. Eyes keying on the handoff, sees the ball going to handing off to 30 right there. Again, good eye discipline, chases down the running back from the backside, makes a tackle. We all know Will McDonald can rush the passer. I think he's going to be a guy who can get you 10 to 15, 16. I can see his ceiling being 19, 20 sacks. Maybe not this year, but he is so damn athletic. And what he did in the pass game was very impressive last year. There's nothing athletically he can't do. So that's why I'm saying his ceiling is very, very high, specifically as a pass rusher. We wanted to see step up in the run game from Will McDonald. Can he be a 3-down player? This is one example of him being that. That's a really good chase down the backside. Again, good eyes and everything else we talked about. So hell of a job by Will McDonald there. Will McDonald making another appearance on a play where he was not called. The tackle was not called for a hold. Probably should have been. Let's run it through. Watch Will McDonald here specifically. This is his play, and obviously we have Tufele who cleans up with the sack on this one. But Will McDonald again, elite spin move. We know that 50 right here gets a good jump off of the snap. Actually, a really good jump on his 45-degree set. Will McDonald plays this patiently, gets right into 60's face or 50's face, the tackle's face, and anticipates the hands coming because of how close he is. The tackle shoots both hands. Will McDonald times it, chops down both of the hands, explodes off the left instep to flatten himself, chop down the hands, ice pick comes over, And like we've talked about so many times with this ice pick move, if we could ideally get the elbow crossing over the offensive player's hip and back, right? Because if we do a spin move and we just get the forearm there, yeah, that's still strong, but it's not as strong as having your elbow in front of somebody. Because if you could drive your elbow, driving yourself forwards while driving him backwards, it's a very strong position to be in. He gets the elbow in front right here of the offensive player. Again, really good patience by McDonald, anticipating the punch, chops down with both the arms, athleticism to spin out of that. Not only does he ice pick, but he actually grabs the jersey of the offensive player, again, propelling himself forward while pushing the defender off of him. Defender or the offensive player gets his hands onto Will McDonald and then dives, brings McDonald to the ground. In my book, that's a hold. Getting your left hand into his chest and then diving and taking him out of the play. In my world, again, that should be called. But it forces Love to step up in the pocket and feel panicked, and that's when Tufele gets the sack. But hell of a job by McDonald. A lot of questions with the Jets D tackles. It seems like obviously Tufele stepped up. We'll get more to him in the full review as well. But a sack and a half from him. Tufele, 78 right here, doesn't win his rep, right? But another effort play from him. He got a sack before because of effort play. He got the fumble recovery because of effort play. He's not winning. His chest is getting controlled. Continues to fight. Continues to drive his feet. Keeping his eyes in the backfield. Jumps up when he thinks the pass is coming. Good job by there. If you can't win, get your hands up. Sees the ball come out. Runs towards it. Dives in that ball. Scoop and score action for Tufele there for a sack. He's right here, lined up as a looser 3-tech. Let's watch the play go through, then we'll talk about it. Showing some athleticism that I didn't know he had. Now, transparently, I did 31 Jet reviews. I left Tufele and Weaver out, and I feel like I should have watched them. But showing some impressive skills here as a pass rusher. So comes off the ball here, good explosion off the ball. 71 vacates because Tyler Barron is on the edge right here. So 71's not going to be a huge threat in the B gap. I think Tufele knows that just based on the set and how wide Tyler Barron is. So takes an aggressive step up the field. Head fake 62, just keeping 62 a little bit more to the inside. It freezes the foot. We see how 62 takes an initial outside angle, but that stab kind of just freezes the inside foot, gets stuck a little bit inside. And Tufele knows he's being aggressive with that B gap, so head fake to the inside, paired with a double swipe. Double swipe. Looks like it lands on the outside arm. Reduce his body. Rip up. Can we talk about that inside arm? Rip up that elbow to the sky. And then what I like about Tufele here too is a little bit of a secondary thing is, okay, we have the explosion off the ball. We know that he wants that B gap and he knows that B gap should be open because of Barron being to the outside. We have the double swipe because if the offensive lineman is going to be effective here, he has to shoot his hands now because of the head fake, got him to sit inside. If the hands aren't here now, they're not going to be effective anyway. So be like precautionary or be anticipatory, I should say, with the hands. Double swipe them, lands, step through with the rip. He gets caught a little bit in the hip here. What I love that he does is, and a lot of guys, if they don't put this arm out, they end up getting pushed and into 71. They get caught up in foot traffic. They trip. So it's a really good job by Tufele knowing he's getting pushed, putting his hand out there. And it does two things. One, it propels himself towards the quarterback, but also keeps his feet clean. So this guy gets pushed to the outside, keeps his feet clean, and propels himself to the quarterback. So it's multifunctional. Right now, the race is on to bend the corner right here from Tufele. Works up the arc. Does a good job of what he does here is he knows the chase is on. So what he absolutely does not want, he does not want this offensive lineman's right hand to land onto his chest. So what he does is he punches his arm through and starts almost following that arm, kind of this is, for lack of a better term, almost like he's Superman, Throw that right arm in front so he can't get control of your chest. Showing some good flexibility in bed for a 300-pound, whatever he is, defensive lineman, probably 6'5", 305, 310. I don't know his exact weight, but good bend, ankle flexion right there. disassociation from the ankle to the foot, so the foot can stay flat while the ankle bends because it's obviously working with your leg. Flexibility from Tufele, and thirdly, I didn't even notice the first time is he attacks the ball right here, gets his hand onto the top of the ball and tries to rip that thing out of there. Willis does a good job of containing the ball, but hell of a job by Tufele. All right, next with the defensive line, we have a Leonard Taylor appearance, and we have Jamin Davis who cleans it up right here on the right side. But this play is really made by Leonard Taylor. He's a huge deterrent to the Packers offense on this play. A little bit wonky in terms of the design. I don't know if the Packers screw up something here. It looks like it's an RPO where the quarterback is the run option. At the snap right here, Malik Willis fakes to the right. Draw situation for the quarterback. The receivers are now looking for the ball and not going to block. So it looks like something gets screwed up there. A little bit weird, but nonetheless from Leonard Taylor, what we have is a very good play. And people seem to think that they think that he didn't really make any plays in the run game last year, but it's kind of false. He actually almost made more splash plays in the run game than the pass game. And maybe the pass had a little bit more, but they were close to equal or more close to equal than you think in terms of like his flash plays last year. And go watch the review, or the Leonard Taylor full review that I did this offseason, because again, there were plays in the run game. Here, he comes off the ball. He notices that the center is working towards him more aggressively. He matches the step of the offensive lineman, is quick to land his hands. Right hand lands first, stands up the offensive lineman, working the outside half of the offensive lineman, keeping his outside half clean, looking at the quarterback, sees the quarterback pulling the ball down or not going to, or actually not handing it off. Sorry. He's pump faking, but right now, obviously the running back's not getting the ball. So Leonard Taylor's going to shoot his shot. Again, does a really good job coming off the ball. Good leverage, good hand placement, extension, reading the backfield. Now he stands up the offensive lineman and pulls himself through. Pulls the offensive lineman down while he steps through. Really good job of pairing the feet with the hands. Accelerates through the gap. Starts to chase the quarterback. The quarterback is then forced to cut this run back really, really hard. Right? Jamin Davis on the backside right here. Stands up the tight end, hands inside, eyes onto the quarterback. Sheds, makes a tackle on Willis. But it's a really good job by Leonard Taylor. And coming off the wall, widening, good base, good hand placement, good eyes, good pairing of the hands and the feet, pulling himself through, forcing the hard cutback for the quarterback. Davis makes a play on the backside edge. Leonard Taylor right here is a one tech forcing the hold. Let's watch the play through, and then we'll talk about it. Really good game for who was listed as D tackle 5 on the Jets depth chart. Maybe to motivate him, but this dude needs to make the roster because he is the Jets' second best defensive lineman in terms of as a pass rusher. And again, he makes more plays in the run game than people realize, and he did last year. So he has an opportunity, I think, to be a solid run defender, if not at least average if he continues to work at it. So really exciting player, Leonard Taylor right here. Good job coming off the ball, matching the step of the offensive lineman. Offensive lineman steps to the outside, so does he. Offensive lineman is more aggressive with their set because they're running play action, so they're going to be a little more aggressive. Taylor stays low, hands land first, right? We want those hands to land first. Left hand lands into the shoulder. Extension, right? Again, coming off the ball low, hands inside, eyes up, playing half a man, right? You don't want him to be, base on base here because then you're not going to be able to play this B gap. So he's responsible for this B gap. He wants his outside half to be clean while the inside half is taking on the offensive lineman. Now he's keying on the running back, keying on the exchange point between the running back and the quarterback, right? Starts to work up the field a little bit. And what does he see? Running back and the quarterback not selling this play action very well, right? Running back, because of pressure, is bailing out of here a little bit early. The quarterback he's not really selling it, really stuffing it into the running back's chest right here because the running back, again, bails early. Leonard Taylor sees that. He knows this is not a handoff. Now he's shooting his shot. He's winning this outside gap because his hands are inside and he's strong, so he's not allowing the offensive lineman to really cover with his hips, get his feet underneath this block. Confirms that the ball is not being handed off. pulls himself through. Again, we talk about the rip, elbow up, elbow stronger right here. Again, elbow stronger as he's holding him like this. Once that flares up, not as strong. And that's because of the rip. Rip on the elbow to the sky. Get that rip off of you. Forces the hold. Clearly held right there by the offensive lineman. Right? Why? Timing, hand placement, eyes, reading the exchange point, pulling himself through or ripping as he steps through. Good job pairing the hands and the feet again, ripping, defeating that elbow, hold all day. Gets the quarterback hit. Assignment completion, but nonetheless, hell of a play by Leonard Taylor. Another play featuring Leonard Taylor. Obviously we started with Will McDonald. The Jets were missing both Byron Cowart and Quentin Williams in this review or in this game. Fumble recovery, Leonard Taylor making some plays. Again, Cowart's out, so it's good for the Jets' depth that these guys are playing well, because I think this may be D tackle 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Jets. I think Cowart makes it. I think Nandi is fighting for his life right now, because it seems like these two guys want to make the team, and this is one of the bigger plays of the game. Leonard Taylor getting the strip sack for the touchdown. He playing versus center right here. Let's watch Taylor. Okay. And decisiveness from Taylor, right? Comes off the ball, pass set works immediately into the center, lands his hands first, right? So important to land those hands first, get inside control. He has that inside control with the left arm, extension through it, right? Sees that the left guard is vacating there, keeps the extension with the left arm, and just keeps running the feet, and eventually works past the 75's hips, rips, attacks the ball. All really good job by Leonard Taylor. Again, coming off the ball with that explosion, a lot of power up and through that right foot right there. Again, maintaining contact with the left, not allowing the center to get in front of him with his hips, driving off the right foot, pulls himself through. Now to clear himself, that rip, right? Rip up to the sky. Pause it right there. Rip up to the sky, defeat that elbow, right? The tighter that elbow is for the offensive lineman, if you're looking at my screen, the tighter that arm is, the stronger you are. The more you lift that arm up and eventually higher than your shoulder level, pretty much screwed as an offensive lineman. That rip just lifts that elbow up enough to defeat him, attacks the ball, swipe down on the ball, swipe down on the arm, swipe down on the elbow. Does that, attacks it, ball is out. All right, and that is the end of the video. Stay tuned until next week. We're going to see another breakdown from myself. Stay tuned to the Twitter, JoeRB31, and stay tuned to Jets X Factor and our great team of writers. Thank you, everybody.